The French call it l'appel du vide. It means call the void, and it describes a phenomenon where normal, happy people feel the urge to jump off a bridge. A large portion of my life has been spent peering over that bridge and thinking to myself, what if? I used to think that a part of me slipped and fell through the cracks. Maybe it jumped. Who knows? Either way, it doesn't matter. It's still a long way down. Back then, I'd try to hide the fact that I desperately wanted to join the other portion of myself that lay broken at the bottom among the rocks. People couldn't see me like that. No, I was supposed to be the laid-back guy, the always smiling guy, the normal, happy guy. And so I was. I hid it from everyone. My 2 younger brothers, my older brother, my sister, my mom, my dad, my best friends. It didn't help. It ate me up on the inside, and the guardrails to that bridge grew thinner and thinner and thinner. And then, one day, they were gone. There was nothing that could protect me from reuniting with my other half. Nothing protecting me from once again slipping and falling. Nor was there anything protecting me from leaping. I remember standing at the edge of that ancient, dilapidated bridge. I remember the wind rocking it wildly, as if trying to throw that lifeless shell that I had become far, far away. I remember thinking that the bridge might just collapse from the pressure. Most of all, I remember gazing down and realizing that if I just took a step, if I would just let the wind take me, I wouldn't have to hide anymore. But I couldn't. Maybe I was coming to my senses, or maybe I was just a coward. I still don't know. There's a saying, if thou gaze long into an abyss, the abyss will also gaze into thee. Just as clearly as I remember looking down into the black, I also remember it drilling into me. It filled my heart with guilt and anger and regret. Along with those, however, came hope. It was then that I took a step back. It was then that the wind stopped roaring in my ears. It was then that I collapsed instead of the bridge. The walls of Troy that surrounded my thoughts caved in, and suddenly I realized that I never had to hide in the first place. I just had to step off the bridge. The following year was a blur, not because of an abundance of new things happened during that time. No, it wasn't that. It was because for the first time in my life, I finally understood myself. I finally found my purpose. I was able to reach beyond the bridge and take back the fragmented part of me that had rested for years underneath. I was able to sew myself back up together again and finally be whole. I was able to witness the unveiling of a future that I had no idea existed, and in that moment, I was happy. Not pretending, not hiding. For the first time in a long time, I was actually happy. I still visit the bridge, more times than I'd care to admit. The scars of an experimental procedure, the reunification of 2 halves, still aches. I still feel l'appel du vide, and I hear the wind screeching for a step that will never be taken. I still peer down, below my feet, below the steel bars that now support the bridge, below the rocks in the darkness. I do so not in preparation for the swan dive of a lifetime, but to remind myself that not too long ago I would have. It reminds me not of a death wish, but instead a desire to keep living, to hit the ground running and to never stop until I've achieved every goal, every dream that seemed at one time an impossibility for someone like me. There's another saying by the same man, Friedrich Nietzsche. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. Through most of my life, I didn't have a why. I had no idea it was necessary, and even if I did, I wouldn't know where to look for one. Things like that, the questions that guide our lives, they're always in the last place you look. I found my why through staring deep into the milky black space below. My next step will not be on that bridge. Instead, it'll be towards the future, my success, and figuring out the how of my life.